I agree with you, infertility is very complex. I increase the complexity of infertility. Yesterday and today. Yesterday, it became possible with contraception in 1960s to separate sexuality from procreation. Finally, we were free to have sexual intercourse without fear of pregnancy. Today, with medical-assisted procreation, it is possible to separate procreation from sexuality. To procreate, sexual intercourse is no longer necessary. I'm a psychologist, I'm a psychotherapist, I am a sexologist. It's not for this, but because we think that when a man and a woman don't communicate each other, they are not a good parents. And sexuality, human sexuality, the first is communication. Communication of body, communication of pleasure, communication. Fertilization occurs at the right time. When is the right time for the couple? I talk with a lot of physician and biologic person here, and all told me when a couple wants to have a child, they want. Is the right time for this couple. But when is the right time? And the right time is behind the physiological limits of fertility, in a defined and chosen time when this couple decide to have a child, and in extracorporeal space, in unknown space, where an operator transforms someone into a parent. Becoming parents involves adopting a much more comprehensive perspective than simply waiting for a child. As individuals and as couples, the journey of parenthood begins when the desire for a child arises. By the time pregnancy occurs, in the parent's mind, the child is already born. Body and mind. It's now an accepted belief that psychological state is fundamental. Mind and body influence and interact with each other. And all your presentation make this information, not only about endocrinology, but about how body works. Woman. The desire for a pregnancy is not the same that the desire for a child. Many times we think this is the same, but it is not the same. The desire for a pregnancy in a woman, as there is a narcissistic desire to experience feeling of fullness, to prove to herself and to others that her body is working, and that she can become omnipotent like her mother, because to be pregnancy, to make a child, it was something in the history when medicine didn't know how it happened. It was something religious, something spiritual, and something omnipotent, and the mother is omnipotent. The desire for a child, the woman focus is on the child, who is separated from her, with whom she will create a relationship based on caring for it. The two difference, to desire for a pregnancy, to desire for a child. This you have to take in your mind. when a woman comes in your center. The infertile woman. The mind is full, but the belly is empty. Because in the mind there is a child, but in the belly there is nothing. Man. Man's desire for paternity is not well researched. The scientific research on human reproduction has been focused on women, even when they have an infertile partner, because culturally, women identify themselves by their maternity, and men identify themselves not by their paternity, but their manhood. And this is very important. The infertile man. So male identity was based on manhood, but now things are changed. Social changes have modified the traditional role of father. So research has begun to study the desire of paternity. Infertile men present anxiety, depression, failure, fault, and shame. Considers potentia quendi and potentia generandi the same thing. So an infertile man can be considered impotent. This is how a narcissistic wound is created. The infertile couple. In medical procreation centers, the woman starts the healthcare journey at the beginning, so she must cope with her empty belly and full mind. The man deals with his infertility only later, when he has to collect sperm. It is in this moment that he must confront his impotence and his shame. Now we are in a society of performance. The desire to become parents is equated with other life projects. There is a need to present oneself to oneself and to society as parents or as family. The desire to have a child has been replaced by the need to have a child, but this desire and need are very different, okay? And when I talk about just time, the couple say, it's the just time to have a child for us. Never mind if we have, we are 40, we are 60, never mind, okay? And an impotent dream today, where there is a will, there is a way. Couples often believe they can have a child whenever they want, but of course this is an illusion, an impotent dream that can turn into frustration and unbearable disappointment. A couple won't. Many couples, after journey about a medical procreation that they were not able to have a child, they separate the couple. They go in two parts different. What about the psychological dimension and the couples unexplored concern and feelings about parenthood? If they are not taken into consideration, they will make themselves felt. In sexology clinics, couples come because they are develop sexual dysfunction when they decide to procreate. Dyspareunia, vaginismus in women, premature ejaculation and erectile dysfunction in man. These are expressions of the conflict, a psychological barrier to parenthood. The mind decides one thing and the corp decides another thing. These couples may come to your fertility centers believing they can overcome the difficulty in procreating by bypassing the sexual symptom. They are the couple that sine causa, no? You don't find a causa, a medical causa, employing a mechanism of denial or minimization of the problem. However, the conflict will manifest during the process. A patient comes for a consultation presenting an erectile dysfunction that cannot explain. He reports that he desires his partner and has never had such problem before. He experienced no difficulties during masturbation. From the sexual history, it emerges that the difficulty began when they decided to begin trying for a pregnancy. He becomes aware that this potential child is causing him great fear, a fear of not being up to the task. When to become parents? I want, I don't want it. L'ambivalence of desire. And another illusion is that one can have a child at any age. The ideal procreative season for men and women may not align. Nature urges having children early. Culture encourages waiting. When a child is born, it's a gift of mutual love and trust in love. It can also have a curative meaning when it is expected to repair the balance of a personal, couple, or family life, perceiving as failing. I remember a teenager who came for consultation due to distress. From the interview, it emerged that the grandfather, a physician, could not forgive himself for failing to help his son, the boy's uncle, who had committed suicide at 20 years old. The adolescent felt his birth was a means of an atonement for his maternal family. The meaning had roots in the family's collective unconscious. Working together, physician and psychologist. Physician is pragmatic, operating in a realistic scenario, ask questions. Psychologist waits and sees, deals with mental representation, listen. The only way to help an infertile couple, I think, is to work in a satisfying way, is to treat the couple as a whole, both individually and together, not only man and not only woman. There are couples, they have a relationship, they have an emotional issue that they bring in the couple. We don't divide the body, the mind. The solution is only in our approach, if we want to work in a satisfying way. Thank you for your attention.